Hi students, I am Ramu Samineni, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Vignan Foundation for Science, Technology and Research. So currently I am having 9 years of teaching experience and 1 year of industrial experience. So in this semester I would like to discuss about the pharmaceutics subject. So the pharma means drug and ceutics means we are applying some technology or methodology mainly to produce the drugs. So the pharmaceutics course is mainly helpful for, it is providing the fundamental knowledge on the preparatory pharmacy with arts and science, mainly for preparing the different conventional dosage forms. The main objective of this course, after completion of this course, the student should be able to know the history of the profession of pharmacy, and it is also understanding the basic different dosage forms, and pharmaceutical methodologies are mainly involving for the dosage form development, and incompatibilities are possible for the between the API and with the excipients, and also what are the basic calculations are mainly involving in the pharmaceutical area, the pharmaceutical calculations, and it is also this course is also understanding the professional way of how to handle the prescription, and is also involving for the preparation of various conventional dosage forms. The pharmaceutics course is mainly having the scope. This course is mainly designed to impart a fundamental knowledge on the preparatory pharmacy with arts and science of preparing the different conventional dosage forms. The main objective of this course, the student will able to understand the history of profession of pharmacy and understanding the basics of different dosage forms and pharmaceutical incompatibilities and pharmaceutical calculations, and it is also understanding the professional way of handling the prescriptions, and the preparation of various conventional dosage forms are mainly involving for this course is helpful for recording these objectives. So totally we are having 5 units. So unit 1 is mainly indicating the historical background and development of profession of pharmacy, pharmacopoeias, dosage forms, prescription and posology. So this is the content is mainly involving in the unit 1. The unit 2, it is mainly consists of the pharmaceutical calculations, powders and liquid dosage forms. Unit 3, it is majorly consists of the monophasic liquids like syrups, elixirs, lotions, liniments, mouthwashes, gargles and enemas. Biphasic liquids, mostly biphasic liquids like suspensions and emulsions. The unit 4, it is mainly involving of the suppositories chapter and is also giving that pharmaceutical incompatibilities. Unit 5, it is deals with the semi-solid dosage forms like ointments, creams, paste and gels. So this is the total 5 units we having the unit 1. Now I would like to start with unit 1, mainly the historical background and development of profession of pharmacy. So pharmacopoeias, dosage forms, prescription and posology. So these are the chapters mainly involving in the unit 1. The content mainly involving in unit 1. So today I would like to discuss about the historical background and development of profession of pharmacy course. So the content is mainly involving in that chapter, what is means of pharmacy and what is the meaning of medicine, and what are the pillars for the pharmaceutical sciences, and what is the scope is mainly involving in pharmacy, and what is the higher education after B Pharmacy if you are completed, what are the higher education options are available, and what is the history of pharmacy in India, and also the industry and organizations are mainly involving in with respect to the pharmaceutical drugs manufacturing. So this is the content I would like to discuss in this video. So man slowly observed the animal kingdom. So I will start with the history. So in ancient days, we are not having any medicines. So, but animals are also not having any medicines. So what they will do in the ancient days while the human life is started. So slowly the man is observed the animal kingdom and observed that animals are mainly depending on the nature for every time and for everything. So then man is also observed the animal kingdom. So animals are surviving only it is depending on the nature. then man is also think that why we can't surviving on the nature. Then man is asked for the food from the nature, and nature is giving the food to the man, our ancient people. And the man is also asked for the cloth from the nature, and nature giving the clothes to the humans. And later on, the ancient peoples are asked for the energy from the nature, and nature is also accepted and gave the fire to the ancient peoples. And it is a pharmacy, it is not a new profession, it is an old profession. Our human civilizations will be started, so many ancient eras will be there. So the pharmacy is an old human civilization, mainly it is involving for the preparing of the medicines. So asked the medicine from the nature, then the humans or the ancient peoples are asked the medicines from the nature, and nature feels happy and accepted, and nature gives the medicines to the humans. Later on, the pharmacy is having the long history. If you see the fossil plant, so this is the fossil plant. This fossil plant, it consists of the number of medicinal properties are there in this fossil plant. So these our ancient peoples have found that there is a involving of the so many active constants in these fossil plants. So these are from the fossil plant, mainly they extracted the different active constant, and that active constants are mainly using to cure the diseases or to prevent the diseases faced by the humans. So this will be happening on the 1000 BC. So these fossil plants are used and they extracted the drug from these fossil plants, and that drugs are using around 15,000 BC. And these drugs are extracted from the fossil plants, and that drugs are used 50,000 BC around. And later on, what is the means of pharmacy? It's an art and science. It is a pharmacy. What is the means of pharmacy? Pharmacy is an art and science of manufacturing and dispensing of drugs and biologicals. Mainly it is involving to prevent or to cure the disease, thereby increasing the health of humanity at larger scale. So what is the means of pharmacy? Means it is an art and science of manufacturing, dispensing of drugs or biologicals, mainly to prevent or to cure the disease, thereby preserving the health of humanity at larger scale. What is the symbol RX? If you see that every prescription we are writing the RX symbol, and if you see that so many doctors are while they are going to prescribe any medicine, they are writing these RX, this superscription on the prescription. So the RX symbol, it is one of the symbol that links the pharmacy practice today to ancient mythology, but which appear it is on every prescription. The RX can take many forms, but they are basically have the same intent. The most popular interpretation, it could be derived from our ancient Egyptians' eye. It is an Egyptian eye symbol. From the Egyptian eye symbol, this RX is came. So what is the meaning of that Egyptian eye? It is a symbol of protection and giving the royal power and giving the good health and or Jupiter. The Jupiter means it is a god of healing. So these are the meanings are mainly involving from the RX symbol. So the Egyptians believes that it is the falcon of the god, mainly for the lower Egyptian people. So if you see that the Egyptian eye, it is looking like a RX symbol. So from the left to right, if you see the observations, so the first one is it is eye of Horus of the symbol for the Jupiter, and followed by it is a symbol for the Jupiter in the middle and the RX symbol. So these are the RX symbol is mainly came from the Egyptian's eye. It's mainly indicating for the power of the good health, or it is mainly also indicating for the god of healing. So the eye of Horus means it is a symbol of protection and royal power and good health, or it's giving the god of healer, the god of healing. That's why the falcon of the god of the lower Egyptians are believing that this is the one of the word or a symbol. It is mainly linked to the pharmacy practice. So these will came from our ancient mythology, but it would appear on every prescription. While the physicians are writing the prescription, they mention the superscription is RX symbol. So it will be meaning of recipient to take in the terms of our English meanings, and in the cases of our ancient mythology, it will be giving for that the god of healing or a symbol of protection. So that is the meaning of the RX symbol. Next one, pharmacy. It is an art and science of medicines are mainly involving, and it is also deals with the manufacturing. The pharmacy, it is an art and science of medicines, and it is also deals with the manufacturing of the drugs, distribution of the medicines for human use or mankind use. And this pharmacy is also involving for the treatment purpose and the prevention of the diseases. If you observe that it is involving of the science of medicine, both manufacturing and distribution of medicines mainly for the human use, and it's also involving of these provision mainly involving for the treatment and prevention of the diseases. Then what is the means of medicine? Any chemical substance intended for cure or preventing the disease for animals or humans, mainly for preserving the health of humanity at larger scale. So that chemical substances, we will calling as a medicines. So medicine means it is involving of any chemical substance. It is mainly intended for cure or preventing the disease for both animals and humans, mainly for preserving the health of humanity at larger scale. If you see that we are using so many medicines like allopathic medicines, Ayurvedic medicines, Unani medicines, biotechnological medicines and homeopathic medicines. So British established these allopathic medicines. Nowadays we are using the medicines we will calling as allopathic medicines. So Ayurvedic medicines, these are ancient peoples are mainly used, our ancient era is started. The Ayurvedic medicines, Unani medicines and homeopathic medicines, mainly our ancient peoples will be using. And nowadays also majority of the peoples are mainly using both allopathic medicines and Ayurvedic medicines nowadays also. Beyond that, the biotechnological medicines are also involving. Mostly it is available as a vaccines or seras products. So the biotechnological products like vaccines and seras, mostly that type of products will come under the biotechnological medicines. So the allopathic medicines like tablets, so suppose we are using so many allopathic medicines nowadays in the market is available. So many tablets, capsules and also as syrups and elixirs in the market. Nowadays we are using that medicines are calling as allopathic medicine. Ayurvedic medicine, mainly it is a following of the Ayurvedic books, mainly for preparing these medicines, and these are ancient people are also established these Ayurvedic medicine. Mainly the Charaka and Sustrija is developed for these Ayurvedic medicines. Unani medicines, so these are also consist of the number of constant of drugs are also comes under these Unani medicines, and homeopathic medicines mainly from these. So medicine means any chemical substance intended for cure or preventing the disease for animals or humans, mainly for preserving the health of humanity at larger scale. So the medicines like allopathic medicines, Ayurvedic medicines, Unani medicines, biotechnological medicines and homeopathic medicines. So most of the medicines nowadays we are using allopathic medicines and Ayurvedic medicines. So the biotechnological medicines means some of the vaccines and sera products are mainly comes under the biotechnological products. And some of the Unani medicines are also our ancient peoples are using, and some homeopathic medicines are also will be using. So these are the different types of medicines with respect to their manufacturing processes and with respect to their standard operating way. The medicines are classified into the allopathic medicines, Ayurvedic medicines, Unani medicines, biotechnological medicines and homeopathic medicines. If you observe that these are the medicines, some of the medicines I would like to discuss about the allopathic medicines. So if you see that some of the capsules, tablets and injections. So nowadays we are using so many tablet dosage forms, capsules dosage forms and injections dosage forms or a parenteral dosage forms. So these are all parenteral dosage forms, either injection forms or vial forms or ampule form. It is available. We are directly injecting to the humans mainly for controlling the disease. So the solid dosage forms like tablets and capsules. So these are all medicines we will calling as a allopathic medicines. Some of the medicines we will also using nowadays cosmetic products and over-the-counter medicines. The cosmetic products like today we are using face creams, nail polishes or hair shampoos are also for the preparations which are mainly beautifying or changing the appearance of the person, and that preparations we will calling as a cosmetic preparations. Some of the nail polishes, eyelashes and lipstick products, herbal shampoos and facial creams and face powders are mostly the tooth powders and toothpastes. So these we will calling as a cosmetic medicines. And some of the over-the-counter medicines like Iodex, double powder we are using Iodex form, and saffromycin, this cream, it is also as a over-the-counter medicine, and Vicks Vaporub. So these are also we will calling as a over-the-counter medicines. So these are the over-the-counter medicines. It is available as a creams, especially like a Vicks and Vaporub and saffromycin and also Adex. These are the over-the-counter medicine. And toothpaste, nail polishes, and the facial creams are we will calling as a cosmetic preparations. The pillars are mainly involving for pharmaceutical science course development. So the pillars like mainly we are having the 5 pillars for the pharmaceutical sciences courses. The pillars like a pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmaceutics, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, and pharmaceutical analysis. So these are the 5 pillars are mainly helpful for the pharmaceutical science course. So if you want to take it as a pharmacy practice course, the pharmacy practice course is mainly involving of 2 pillars. The pillar 1 is mainly deals with the health profession and its education, and the second pillar it is mainly involving of the clinical pharmacy course. And the pharmaceutical sciences, the pillar 3 it is mainly indicating for the system of biology. In this system of biology, mostly the ecology and human anatomy physiology will become. And the part 4 it is mainly involving of the chemical biology and also for the medicinal chemistry. And the pillar 5 it is mainly involving of the translational pharmaceutic subjects and the bioengineering subjects. So these are the most of the pillars are mainly involving for the both pharmacy practice and pharmaceutical sciences. With respect to the pharmacy course, we are having certain regulatory bodies. The regulatory bodies like a drug regulatory affairs, either it is Indian regulatory affairs or Indian, either it is international regulatory affairs or Indian regulatory authorities. So what are the regulatory authorities are mainly controlling the pharmacy course or pharmaceutical sciences course. In the case of international level, the US FDA, United States Food and Drug Administration, so this is a regulating body mainly involving for the controlling of the pharmaceutical sciences. So US FDA and the World Health Organization. So these 2 regulating affairs bodies are mainly controlling the pharmaceutics course or pharmaceutical sciences course. It comes to the national way, the Government of Indian Director of Health and Family Welfare and Drug Controller of General of India. So this is the national regulating affair body. It is mainly controlling the pharmaceutical sciences course, and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So these are the 2 regulating affair bodies are mainly involving for the national level, and in the case of international level, US FDA, United States Food and Drug Administration and World Health Organizations. These 2 regulating bodies are mainly controlling the pharmaceutical sciences courses. And in the case of Indian level or national level, mainly the Government of Indian Director of Health, Family Welfare and Drug Controller and Drug General of India and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So these 2 regulating bodies is covering in terms of the national way mainly for pharmaceutical sciences courses. So this building is mainly indicating for that the US FDA building. It is the United States Food and Drug Administration. Mainly these regulating bodies are in this case the building it is mainly belongs to the US FDA. So this building it is mainly belonging to the International Regulating Affair Body. So it is mainly located in the United States. The very important one, what is the scope of pharmacy and in the pharmaceutical industry? So the scope is will be very big and it is having the so many options in the pharmaceutical industry. So the pharmacy opportunities like if you are done B Pharm or M Pharm, so the following options are available in the industry. If you are done only B Pharm, if you go to the business orientation, only either industrial or distribution or its agency. So there is opportunities are divided into 2 origins. One is mainly with respect to the B Pharm or M Pharm with respect to the pharmaceutical industry, and second job origin is with respect to the business. Under the B Pharm or M Pharm, after completion of your Bachelor of Pharmacy or Master in Pharmacy, mainly you are going to options like the government organization options, like a government pharmacist or a clinical pharmacist roles you will be placing for the approved exams. After you qualified the approved exams, then you are eligible to either a registered pharmacist or a clinical pharmacist jobs. Pharma industries. The pharma industries are providing big opportunities like the production jobs, quality control jobs, quality assurance jobs, and also for the analytical research and development jobs, formulation research and development jobs, and also for the senior assistant jobs or junior assistant jobs, and also for the technology transfer groups are also there in the pharma industries. If you go to the hospital pharmacist, The hospital pharmacist jobs or a clinical pharmacist jobs are also available for either the students or the members who are finished B.Pharm or M.Pharm. The research institutes, some of the research institutes are also offering the job opportunities, mainly those who are done for the B.Pharm or M.Pharm. Mainly they will go for the working of the funded grants of the research projects. Mainly they are working on the funded research projects, they will go for working mainly with respect to the research areas. And food and cosmetic industries. The food and cosmetic industries are also providing job opportunities mainly for the Bachelor of Pharmacy or Master in Pharmacy students. And clinical pharmacy, mainly it is related to the clinical area, mainly it is a clinical pharmacist jobs or opportunities are available for the students, those who are finished B.Pharm or M.Pharm. Clinical research organizations, CRO companies. Some of the clinical research organization companies are also providing job opportunities, mainly the job roles will be related to the clinical areas. So CRO companies are also after the members, mainly those who are belonging to B.Pharm or M.Pharm. Community pharmacy jobs. So these community pharmacy jobs are also offering for those who are members will be finished the Bachelor of Pharmacy or Master in Pharmacy. Pharma marketing, either wholesale marketing or retail marketing or a distributor. So these are the options are available for the pharma marketing, and these will also providing for the medical codings or medical transcriptions, or for the most of the marketing areas, either you want a distributor or a seller, or to the wholesalers or to the retailers. So mostly the pharma marketing is also providing to the Bachelor of Pharmacy students or Master in Pharmacy students. Academic job, especially with related to the teaching jobs or research jobs. So these are the job opportunities will be there for with respect to the after B.Pharm or M.Pharm you finish, and these are the job opportunities will be available. If you are oriented towards the business, either you establish your own industry, or either you establish your own distribution, or either you established your agency or a pharmacy shop, mainly for distributing or selling the medicines, or to try to do the research activities mainly for the newly appeared medicines. Either you establish your own industry, or either you establish your own distribution shop, or agency shop, or a pharmacy shop. So these are the mainly with related to the business areas of the opportunities are available after completion of the B.Pharm. So these are the job opportunities are mainly available with related to the industrial, hospital, clinical, government sectors, and also for the CROs and pharmacy organizations and pharma marketing areas, and also for the academic jobs. If you are oriented towards the business, industry establishment, or a distribution establishments, or agency cell establishment, or a pharmacy shop establishment. So these are the two origins mainly giving the scope of pharmacy will be very big and broad with respect to the pharmaceutical industry jobs and with respect to the marketing jobs or a business oriented jobs. Those who are finished B.Pharm and M.Pharm, or those who are finished B.Pharm also, the companies are opted for the job opportunities. If you see this tabular column, it is indicating the pharmaceutical industry. What are the job options that are available in the pharmaceutical industry? If you go to the R&D, research and development area, the job opportunities with mainly related to the formulation department, quality assurance department, quality control department, bioanalytical department, biotechnological department, pharmacology, drug discovery process, technology transfer process, and regulatory division process. So these are the main R&D jobs are available for those who have finished B.Pharm or M.Pharm, the pharmaceutical industry with related to the research and development area. These are the options are available. If you go to the production area, mainly the productions are it is the initiation step is done for the industry, and this production is giving the basic foundation. Mainly, if you want to increase your technical skills or the manufacturing skills, definitely you have to work in the production department at least 1 or 2 years. So then only the persons will be promoted to the either R&D department or AR&D department. So if you are willing to work in the production, mostly you are dealing with the tablet formulations, capsule formulations, or injection formulations, or a cosmetic formulations, or a nutraceutical formulations. So the production jobs are mainly operated for the solid dosage forms, liquid dosage forms, parenteral dosage forms, and also for some of the cosmetic preparations and nutraceutical preparations. If you are opted for marketing jobs, either sales promotion, sales executives, or product development executives, or managers. So these are the options are available in the marketing side. Either you go for sales promotion area, or sales executive area, or a product development area, or a manager roles. So these are the options are available with respect to the industrial pharmacy course. Or if the industrial pharmacy is mainly opted for these options for those who have completed B Pharmacy and M Pharmacy courses. So these are the options that are available with respect to the R&D department, production department and marketing area. There is a great potential is there for testing of new drugs. So mainly we are doing clinical research with respect to if you are invented any new drugs. In pharma graduates having a key role in developing a new drugs in both preclinical stages and post-clinical stages. So these preclinical stages and post-clinical trials are provided. There is a great potential is there for testing of new drugs, especially the Indian pharma graduates having a key role in developing a new drugs in both preclinical stages and clinical trials, mainly for treating critical diseases, and mainly these diseases are, if it is needed for to control these diseases, definitely the pharma people are working for the new developing of the drugs. So the critical diseases, and mainly if you are developing a new drug, these drugs will be curable for that diseases or try to increases the patient safety and efficacy, mainly for the drugs so releases into the market. So once the drugs are entering into the market, it is passes the clinical phases, so then only the drugs are approved and entering into the market for the sale or distribution. So it is mainly involving of the 4 clinical phases, pre-clinical phases to the post-marketing surveillance studies. So clinical phase 1, if any new drug they developed, the new drug is going to the preclinical phases. Mainly they will test it for first animals. Once the response is good in animals, then only they will go for testing the drug into the humans. So the phase 1, it is deals with the limited number of people. They will test it mainly for the safety levels. So less than 100 people are tested for the new drug mainly to check the safety level. Clinical phase 2, it is including for that the number of people increases to the 1,000 people, and this clinical phase 2, it is mainly giving the both safety and efficacy levels. Phase 3, and the number will be there for more than 10,000 people they will test it, and it is also covering both safety and efficacy guidelines. Thus both safety and efficacy will be tested for clinical phase 3. Once the drug is passed from the clinical phase 3 approved, then it is entering into the marketing cases. Once even though drug is entering into the market, they will continue to test the drugs to try to avoid the unwanted errors or any side effects or toxic effects. So after approving, it is entering to the market. Then from the market, it is going to distribution to the sellers or to the consumers. So the 4th phase, even though we are continuing the clinical phases, that clinical phases we will calling as a post-marketing surveillance studies. Also the drug, even though entering into the market, we are continually doing these clinical studies, and that studies we will calling as a PMS studies, post-marketing surveillance studies. So these clinical studies are providing, it is having great potential mainly to test any new drug, especially for the drugs which are mainly implemented for the critical diseases, and mainly that drugs are ensuring the safety and efficacy level to the patient. So now we are seeing the COVID vaccine. The Russia is developed, and the Russia is finishing the clinical phase 3, and then the Russian vaccine is going to import it to our Indian system mainly to test the patients. So that's way it is crosses already 3 clinical phases, and now it is going to enter the clinical phase 4. So many new drugs are going to develop for the rare diseases or chronic diseases. Still the medicines will be needed. So that work will be done in the clinical phases, both preclinical phases and post-clinical phases. Under the preclinical phases, we tested with the animals. If it is responses are good, and then we will go to the working on the humans, mainly to test the responses for the newly prepared drugs. The next one, what is the key role of community pharmacist? If you see that any community pharmacist, so what is a pharmacist role in the community pharmacy area? So the community pharmacist is mainly determining the drug related needs. So he also determining whether the patient having any actual or a potential drug related problems. So the community pharmacist role is a very important one in the community pharmacy area. Mainly he has to deals with the patients, what their problems, actual problems, and the drug related problems. and he also working on a patient and other healthcare professionals mainly to design and implement and monitor for a therapeutic plan, and that will resolve the comforts and that will resolve or prevent the problem of the patient. So the community pharmacist role is a very important one. He deals with the drug related needs and it is also determining the patient with their actual problems and their potential drug related problems, and is also working with the pharmacist and other healthcare professionals mainly to designing, implementing and monitoring a therapeutic plan that will resolve or prevent the problem of the patient. So the community pharmacist role will be very important one in the community pharmacy areas. Organization and healthcare management. So this organization and healthcare management is also be needed. This organization and healthcare management course is giving further skills to the pharmacy people. So if you go to this skilled program, definitely you are getting the good healthier workers. So these good healthier workers came from that those who are finishing the courses mainly related to the organization and healthcare management programs. From these programs, the technical peoples will be get mainly to controlling the patient safety and patient needs. So the organization healthcare management programs will be needed for healthcare professionals, especially for the pharmacy peoples. So if you are willing to do these healthcare management courses, definitely you will get the better understanding and better knowledge and key skills mainly taken from these healthcare management programs. So these organization healthcare management programs are needed for the healthcare professionals and for the pharmacy peoples. Hospital pharmacy. If you see that, I think you visited so many hospitals mainly to collect the drugs from the pharmacy. So these pharmacies is especially located in the hospital inside itself. So the distribution of medicines in the hospital itself, and that pharmacy we will be calling as a hospital pharmacy. So the hospital pharmacist role is also a very important one. He is distributing the medicines to the either inpatients or outpatients. And at the same time, he is also guiding and giving the counseling regarding the drugs, when the medicines are going to using, at what time the medicines are will be taking, and what is the frequency of administering of the medicines, and if any physician is done wrongly the prescription, and the pharmacist role, hospital pharmacist role will be very important one. He is trying to correct the prescription and send back to the physician, mainly to try to avoid the incompatibilities in the prescription. So we are having either physical or a chemical or a therapeutical incompatibilities are possible in a given prescription. So when we are prescribing more than one drug in a prescription, definitely the pharmacist hospital pharmacy role is will be very important one. The pharmacist is thoroughly check the combination, whether the combination is suitable, then only he has to suggest to give the guidance to the patients. So the hospital pharmacist people is a connecting link between physicians to the consumers or physicians to the patients. The hospital pharmacy is mainly located in the hospital surroundings itself, mainly to distribute the medicines to the either inpatients or to the outpatients. The next one, pharmacist in a government services. So if you are willing to write any government exams, the pharmacist jobs will be there with related to the Army, Navy, Air Force and government hospitals. So these are the areas mainly providing the first jobs with respect to the government sectors. And drug inspector post, these are government of India is selected either state level or a central level. So the drug inspector posters are also available. Those are finishing the pharmacy course, mainly in the government services. If you are willing to work in the government jobs, either you are willing to go for pharmacist job or a drug inspector jobs. And other options like a scientist jobs, either food and drug administrations or the food and drug companies are giving the scientist jobs, or ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, and CIMAP and IICD laboratories. These scientist jobs are also providing food and drugs or Indian Pharmacopoeia Commissions, ICMR or CIMAP or IICD labs. So these laboratories are providing the scientist jobs mainly for the government sectors. And so many private universities and government universities are also offering the academic jobs like professors and HODs and assistant professor jobs. And opportunities are also will be selected in UPSC exam or a State Public Service Commission exams. So if you qualify UPSC exam or a State Public Service Commission exam, and you will also placing into the government sector. And government analyst jobs and forensic scientist jobs. So these jobs are also available in the government area. And research on tropical diseases and public health safety diseases. So these you are also as working as a researcher with related to the tropical diseases or a public health diseases. And government certified pharmacologist or a toxicologist. So this is also a government job option is available if you are qualifying exams. Mainly you are certified as a pharmacologist or toxicologist. And government approved chemist. Now this also will be based on the medical entrance exam. If you qualify the druggist exam, definitely you are approved as a chemist or a druggist. And consultants like a mental health or addiction or a family planning or a poisoning cases, you try to suggest or self-medication, you try to give the suggestions to the self-medication area or immunization areas. So these consultant jobs are also available in the government sectors, mainly related to the mental or health addiction. Those people are addicted towards the nicotine or towards the alcohol, you try to guide that. And family planning problems and poisonous cases, self-medication problems and immunization cases. So these are the consultant jobs are available with regard to the mental health, addiction, family planning, poisonous cases, self-medication and immunization areas. So these are the government sector services mainly available for those who are finished B.Pharm or M.Pharm, and these options and these are the job opportunities are available with regard to the government services. Next one, higher education after B.Pharm. So what is the higher education options are available after you finished B.Pharm? And one first option is M.Pharm. If you try to qualify PGCET or GPAT and you try to opt any one branch, either pharmaceutics, medicinal chemistry, regulatory affairs, pharmacology, pharmacognosy, quality analysis and quality assurance and pharma biotech. So these are the 7 core branches are available if you are willing to opt any one branch in your M.Pharm course. After qualifying of PGCET or GPAT exam, so you try to opt any one branch based on your interest. And if you are willing to work in a MBA like a marketing programs, the options like a pharma management course is there, finance related programs are there and marketing related programs are there. So if you are going to write the CAT exam, then you are eligible to go for undergoing these courses like a pharma management course, finance course or a marketing course if you are willing to qualify this CAT exam. And if you are willing to write the MS program and if you are willing to do the MS program and you try to qualify the GPAT exam, after qualifying a GPAT exam, you try to attempt the NIPER exam and BITS Pilani exam. So if you qualify these exams, definitely you will get a better option and you are getting the central universities mainly to do the higher education. So after B.Pharm, you are having the higher education options like you want to willing to do the M.Pharm course or MBA course or MS program mainly related to these branches. Mainly 7 branches are there. Out of 7 branches you can select any one course with related to the M.Pharm. MBA 3 branches are there. You need to try to select any one branch mainly your interest area. If you are willing to do the MS program, you want to qualify the GPAT exam, NIPER exam and BITS Pilani exam. So these are the higher education options that are available after you are finishing into the B.Pharm. It is these higher education options are available in India itself. So I am showing in this tabular column in India, these are the higher education options are available for after B.Pharm. After B.Pharm, what are the higher education opportunities are there in the abroad? If you are willing to do MS program, so you have to go to the US mains, you try to qualify the exam GRE and also IELTS exam. So both GRE and IELTS are a TOEFL with GRE. So GRE with IELTS or a TOEFL with IELTS, you need to try to qualify, then only you are eligible to go to the US. And if you are willing to go to the UK and USA countries, you try to qualify the exam of TOEFL. And if you are going to the Australia or Canada or UK or New Zealand, if you are willing to go for these countries, if you are willing to plan to the MS program in a US country, so you have to write a GRE exam. If you are willing to go to the USA or UK, you will also attempt to GRE or TOEFL exam with IELTS. And if you are willing to go to the Australia, Canada, UK and New Zealand, in these countries are required IELTS exam. And you are also working as a registered pharmacist in the Middle East, in Gulf countries, based on their country's qualifying exam. If you qualified their country exams, then you will also working as a registered pharmacist in the Middle East and Gulf countries. If you are willing to do the MBA programs in the abroad, Pharma MBA, you have to qualify GMAT exam. Or if you are willing to go to the USA and UK for MBA Pharma marketing programs, you have to write a TOEFL exam. Or if you are willing to go to the Australia, Canada, UK or New Zealand, so you have to qualify the IELTS exam. And beyond these, we are also having the options like PhD programs and postdoc research work in various organizations and universities. So also options are available. They are providing the PhD programs and postdoc research programs mainly in the abroad universities and abroad organizations. So this tabular column is mainly highlighting the abroad opportunities, so mainly involving for after finishing of your 4 years bachelor program. In India also having a bright future for pharmacy graduates. So if you observe that the India is also developing is one of the largest pharmaceutical industries are there in Indian system. So many bulk industries are there in India. If you are going to locate our nearest places, the Hyderabad, Vizag and Chennai, these are the so many bulk industries are established, mainly they provide the big opportunities for the pharma graduates. So you see that slowing of Chinese economy and exports, and opportunities came to the Indian pharma marketing. So recently we will also imported the medicines to the China and also for the US. Recently, $50,000 billion of the hydroxychloroquine tablets we are going to import it to the US. Okay, so because of the demand of the Donald Trump, so our PM Narendra Modi is imported the drugs of hydroxychloroquine, $50,000 billion of the hydroxychloroquine tablets. So we are imported towards the US. So that is a big opportunity. So the pharma industries are there here. So the US abroad industries are also establishing mainly in Indian system. And the government policies like Make in India, Skilled Youth programs. These programs are also encouraging the pharma graduates mainly to work for the new medicines developments. And there is also the competitive workforce is there here in Indian system with English in a basic education. So we are also having the competitive work field here in India also. So that competitive work field is also providing the great growth in the pharma industries. And the Indian system, mainly the pharma graduates are involving is a cost effective, and we are doing a cost effective clinical trials and chemical synthesis processes, mainly so many pipeline of new chemical entities we are developed, and that is the advantage of India, because the India pharmacy is playing a crucial role, the Indian pharmacy is playing a crucial role in developing of the new chemical entities. So we are developing a cost effective clinical trials we are doing, and a chemical synthesis and so many pipelines of new intermediate products we developed comparing to the other countries. And we are also having a strong legal and financial framework. So that's called intellectual property rights. So these strong legal and financial frameworks are mainly approvals are given by the intellectual property rights. So these rights are giving the rights to the new ideas or new developmental processes. So these IP are mainly controlling or mainly saving the ideas, mainly they're giving that rights to the own other or a own person. So every person they're having their own ideas regarding the developing of the processes for the new drugs. So if they develop any new idea, and that work is only eligible for the owner. So that idea is not shareable to the others. So that is intellectual property rights. So these intellectual property rights is mainly having the strong legal and financial frameworks. And the vibrant information and technology of data analysts, vibrant information and technology of data analytics are also we are having in India. So India is having a bright future for pharmacy graduates because of the so many advantages are there in the Indian pharmacy graduates. So try to work in the India itself, because India also is having a bright future is there for the pharmacy graduates. Why you are selecting pharmacy as a career? In the pharmaceutical industry in India is the world largest in terms of the volume. Our India is occupying third largest. So if you want to comparing the worldwide, the Indian pharmaceutical industries are the third largest in terms of the volume. Only industry to record a profit and a great jobs even in a global slowdown. In the period of 2003 to 2009, so the Indian records are providing that the profits, we are not getting any losses mainly during the period of 2003 to 2009 because of the global slowdown in the other countries, but India is recorded as a profit to create the new jobs mainly in the global slowdown in the period of 2003 to 2009 period. And the India is only second only to the Indian defense sector in terms of R&D spending. So if you want to compare the worldwide, the research and development spending of the money is India is the second place. In terms of net exports, India is the top of the world in the exporting of new generic drugs worth of US 15 US million dollars in 2014. So in 2014, the $15 million of the new generic drugs we are going to export it. So that is in that case India is a top rank. So these are the points that indicating that you are having the scope in a pharmacy. The pharmacy as a career, mainly you will get the because of these points are supporting, because in India the pharmacy course is also playing a crucial role. So either in terms of industry wise we are occupying the third place, and these industry records are also giving these profits, and even though slow down in other countries in the period of 2003 to 2009 we are getting the profits. And in terms of spending of the money with regard to the research, India is the second largest country. And in terms of net exports, India is a top rank mainly for exporting of the generic drugs. Nearly in 2014, $15 million we are exported. Recently in 2020, we exported to US $50,000 million of the hydroxychloroquine tablets. So that's why pharmacy as a career, we are, because of these points are supporting towards you selecting as a pharmacy as a career. Pharmacy in India. The father of pharmacy is a Professor William Proctor. So the worldwide, the father of pharmacy we will calling as a Professor William Proctor. In India, father of pharmacy in education field, in Indian education, Professor M.L. Scrope. The Professor M.L. Scrope is the father of pharmacy in Indian education. In 1857, the licensed examination test is conducted. The first licensed examination is conducted in 1857. The licensed examination test is conducted in India. In 1985, India is also started the pharmacy education and also for the industrial establishments. In 1932, Chopra Committee is recommended for the profession of the pharmacy course. So the Chopra Committee in 1932 is recommended the profession of pharmacy course. And 1857, the licensed examination test is conducted. And in 1985, India has also started the pharmacy profession. And the father of pharmacy in Indian education is Professor M.L. Scrope. And the father of world pharmacy is the Professor William Proctor. Pharmacy education in India. So we are having the pharmacy education with related to the diploma in pharmacy, bachelor of pharmacy, master in pharmacy, and pharmacy program. So these are the courses with related to the pharmacy. We are having these courses. Diploma in pharmacy 2 years, bachelor of pharmacy 4 years, bachelor of pharmacy 4 years, D pharmacy 2 years, B pharmacy 4 years, M pharmacy 2 years, and pharmacy is 6 years. Either if you are doing B pharmacy 4 years and you directly go to the pharmacy course also for 3 years. If you are willing to finish the D pharmacy and if you are going to opt for B pharmacy for a 2 years course. So those who are members who completed D pharmacy, they will go to promoting to the B pharmacy. They have to do only 2 years for B pharmacy. If they are done, members are doing B pharmacy, after B pharmacy they will go to the M pharmacy, that is a 2 years course. So the members who are finished B pharmacy, they are willing to do pharmacy also means that is a 3 years course eligible. After 4 years of B Pharm, you are going to 3 years of pharmacy courses also be eligible. So two regulating council bodies are mainly involving with regard to the pharmacy education. So one is AICD and the second one is PCI. With regard to the pharmacy education, these two councils will be regulating the pharmacy education in India. So AICTA, All Indian Council of Technical Education, PCI, Pharmacy Council of India, mainly for registering of the pharmacy students. So these two regulating councils are mainly controlling the pharmacy education in India. So All Indian Council of Technical Education and Pharmacy Council of India. So All Indian Technical Council of Education is giving the approvals to the colleges and universities, and PCI is mainly useful for the registration of the pharmacy students. In ancient days, pharmacists are called as apothecaries. So our ancient people, they are not saying that pharmacists, they are calling as apothecaries. In 1948, Pharmacy Act is started. In 1951, education regulations in according to the chemistries and drugs. So the education regulations are developed in 1951 with according to the chemist professions and druggist professions. In 1991, apothecaries words are replaced or modified as a pharmacist. So after the 1991, we will calling as a pharmacist. Before 1991, we will calling as apothecaries. So the eligible, the course, those members are registered pharmacists. They are only eligible after finishing of their 10th and plus 2 and B Pharm and plus trained person. So this is the eligible education mainly required for if you are willing to go to the registered pharmacist. The registered pharmacist is required the 10 plus 2 education, B Pharm, and you are also a trained person. Then only you will go to the registered pharmacist registration process in the PCA. In 2001, B Pharmacy students are also called as a registered pharmacist. So the members who are finished with the B Pharmacy course, they are also eligible to go to the registered pharmacist course. Before, only D Pharmacy students are going to be registered. After 2001, the B Pharmacy students are also eligible as called as a registered pharmacist. Pharma industries in India. The first industry is established in Bengal in Kolkata. So the industry name is Bengal Pharmaceuticals. The Bengal Pharmaceuticals are established in the year of 1901. Later, 1903, Mumbai. In this current, Mumbai Pharmaceuticals are also established. In 1907, Pune in Baroda, Hindustan Pharmaceuticals Company is established. In 1950, Indian Pharmaceuticals are established in Rishikesh, Hyderabad. The present stage, India is placed the 15th rank throughout the worldwide, mainly for the industry establishments. So, the present rank of India is the 15th rank throughout the worldwide. The present stage in India, with related to pharma industries, we get the 15th rank. And every year 15% growth rate is there in the pharma industries. 70% of the components are mainly being manufactured by the chemicals or bulk drugs mainly produced in India. In India, the productions are done first in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. So in India, productions are done first in Karnataka, followed by Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. So totally 30 units of India is mainly approved by US FDA and Medical Council of Authorities, MCA. 400 bulk drugs are produced in Indian companies and 200 units producing API drugs, that is mainly there in the pure form. So these are the pharma industries mainly related to the, we started the industry in Bengal, in Kolkata, that Bengal pharma. I would like to discuss history of profession of pharmacy in my next video. So what is means of history means with related to the pharmacy provision, our ancient peoples have developed some of the medicines. So we will deal with the history of provision of pharmacy mainly for the ancient researchers and ancient profession of pharmacy. So we will discuss in our next video. So the history of profession of pharmacy is started from the Greeks. So the Greeks are the first patrons for the pharmacy provision. So they are all giving the word pharmacy. So the pharmacy is originated from pharmakon, meaning of drug or medicine. The Greek physicians are mainly Dioscorides wrote a book of 5 volumes on medicines and was further translated to the Latin language, and the material book name is De Materia Medica book. So this Indian history of provision of pharmacy, we will start it from the Greeks people itself. So I would like to discuss the history of provision of pharmacy from the Greeks to the now today era. So we'll briefly in my next class. In my next video, I would like to discuss the history of provision of pharmacy very briefly. So these are the references I followed for the content development, mainly the related to the pharmacy, profession and opportunities. Scope is mainly involving pharmacy and pharma industries, and with related to the organizations, the job roles with related to the government sectors and private sectors. So these are the references mainly I followed for the content development. So the Pharmaceutics by Rowling-Kins and Ansell's dosage forms, pharmaceutical dosage forms by Ansell, and Remington book, Modern Dispensing Pharmacy by Mehta, and also Pharmaceutics 1 by Ashok Gupta. So these are some of the books mainly I referred, and these books are also available in our library. You better go through these books mainly to understand the pharmacy profession. Thank you for paying your attention. If you are having any queries, you may feel free to contact either by mail or by phone. I given my mail ID and phone number. So if you are having any doubts or queries, you may directly interact with me either by mail or by phone. So finally, thank you for your patience.